control the center of the ring.
Yeah.
If Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win.
For a part, Canelo is too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a chess match, and a chess match that, if it's played correctly by each side, it could be very interesting. If it's played wrong by either side, the other side will dominate. That's how good this fight is.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. has reportedly made a surprise visit to Terence Crawford's training camp, and it's got everyone talking.
Well, I think his size may be his best going factor, but if he goes out and boxes Bud, he's not going to beat Bud boxing. He's not. So if Bud can take his punch, he's not going to box Bud. So it's like, it'll be, what would determine the fight would be who wants it most and who has the best fight plan. Because to me, I don't care what they say, if Bud can get Canelo to box him, Bud will outbox him.
So it's still a fight that you feel is competitive enough despite what happened in the Madrimov fight?
Without a question, it's competitive enough. Well, what he showed you in the Madrimov fight is that he can take the punch at 154. So now, can he take it at 68? It's yet to be seen.
Insiders say Jones wasn't just there for a friendly handshake. He came with a plan. He laid out a full strategy to help Crawford break down Canelo's game. From timing Canelo's slower footwork to using slick movement and precise distance control, Jones gave Crawford real tools to pull off the upset, with Crawford aiming to make history by taking on one of the most dangerous names in boxing. This advice might be exactly what he needs.
All be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab the opportunity. And with Canelo, I see a guy who not necessarily hungry, but loves to entertain, loves to give us the big fights.
Yeah.
Always tries to give the big fights. He finds a way to give us big fights. Yeah. Not gonna always win them, but he always tries to give them to us. Yeah. So he'll be a guy that, if he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
Yeah. You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter.
Crawford will take on Canelo on September 13th, 2025. In Las Vegas, he's jumping up to weight classes to challenge for the undisputed super middleweight titles WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO ring, and IBO, all on the line and airing live on Netflix. Crawford already took out top fighters like Errol Spence Jr. and Israel Madrimov, and now he's chasing a new milestone, becoming the first man in the four-belt era to go undisputed in 3 divisions. Canelo brings deep experience at 168, with big wins over Saunders and Plant. But Crawford's speed, switch hitting, and fight IQ are serious weapons. Backed by Saudi's Riyadh season and promoted with UFC's Dana White, this fight is being hyped as the biggest of this generation.
Affected this fight now, but in the previous years, you said it doesn't interest you because you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. If he were to beat you, how damaging would that be to the Canelo brand?
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like yes, man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Madrimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stone. It's about...
Roy Jones Jr. believes the fight won't come down to weight, but to Canelo's mindset back in February. He told The Ring that if Canelo sticks to his usual style, he'll likely win. But if he fights the wrong way, Crawford could steal it. In June, Jones doubled down, saying Crawford has to take control of the center of the ring and prove he can handle Canelo's power. Weight, he said, won't decide this. While Jones leans toward Canelo in the early rounds, he admits that if Crawford survives the opening heat and starts using his skills, he could completely flip the script.
He's going to fight Canelo because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is two action fighters who like to fight aggressively at times, not all the times, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay. Another fight I did want to ask you about in terms of weight classes. Canelo Alvarez potentially fighting Terence Crawford in September. That's obviously a massive weight discrepancy. What do you think of that fight and then the weight discrepancy between it?
Well, the weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. Yeah. Canelo comes out there what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight.
With Crawford, what are Crawford's keys to victory when you are fighting someone like Canelo, who, albeit maybe not in height, but in stature, is a much bigger man than him?
Control the center of the ring.
Yeah.
If Crawford is allowed to control the center.
Roy Jones Jr. compared Crawford versus Canelo to a high-stakes chess match, not a brawl. He made it clear, this fight is about brains just as much as power. He brought up Crawford's recent bout with Israel Madrimov, calling it a slow-paced chess game that showed Crawford's ability to think his way through a fight. But he also warned him, don't turn this into a running match. Jones said if you run from a bigger guy, you only give him more confidence, and that's a mistake. To him, this fight is all about controlling space, timing, and mental sharpness. It's not just about who hits harder, it's about who thinks faster.
Who you beat, the monster thing is gonna always follow him.
Terence is not taking a fight in between. He's like, I'm going to move up to 168. I'm gonna take my time with that. Should we expect an upset, or are we going to see what most people are expecting in that fight if it does happen?
Well, we're not going to see what most people are expecting. That's for sure. I can guarantee that, because most people looking at the weights and saying, oh, they're too far apart. Canelo is too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a chess match, and a chess match that, if it's played correctly by each side, it could be very.
Jones Jr. also hinted at what could come next for Crawford. He said if Crawford manages to knock out Canelo, that could be the perfect ending to his career. Or, maybe he goes on to fight David Benavidez in one last mega showdown. But if he loses, Jones thinks Crawford might just call it quits, saying, I tried, it's time to step away. Either way, Jones believes Crawford's legacy is already strong. Beating a legend like Canelo would only lock in his place among the greats, and give him every right to walk away on top.
Wrong by either side, the other side would dominate. That's how good this fight is.
Let's say if Canelo wins, do you think people give Canelo credit because Bud is smaller? And if Bud wins, should he just retire and go on the sunset?
Bud definitely should retire if he wins. Canelo, no, you have unfinished business, bro. You can try to hide, you can try to run, but that monster thing, it ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. Even if you retire, the rest of your career, the monster thing is not going anywhere because the monster was searching for you. He beat everything y'all sent at him in the process of trying to get to you. I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is going to always follow him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there was a time where Benavidez was saying, you know what, I got to earn that Canelo shot. He earned that shot long.
Jones Jr. believes Terence Crawford has earned his spot among the top 10 fighters of all time. And when it comes to pure skill, he puts him in the top 5. After Crawford dominated Errol Spence Jr., Jones said it doesn't matter if Crawford hasn't fought every big name. His IQ, timing, and ability to adapt are next level. He even pushed back on the Naoya Inoue hype, pointing to Inoue's controversial win over Nonito Donaire as a red flag. Jones made it clear, in his eyes, Crawford's resume and skills speak louder than any current pound-for-pound debates.
Probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely had the skill of a top 5, just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get. And that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud.
When it comes to what's next, Jones Jr. says a fight with Jaron Boots Ennis would be a serious test. Boots has all the tools, but Jones still gives Crawford the edge early on thanks to his experience and ring smarts. But facing Canelo, that's a different kind of danger. Jones said Crawford has to bring pressure from round 1, make Canelo feel him right away. No running, no waiting. It's a mental and physical chess match, and Crawford has to fight smart every second. According to Jones, both matchups are huge, but they require completely different strategies, and both could define the rest of Crawford's legacy.
A lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. You give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight, or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What do he got to prove to Boots? Boots trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win. Like, oh my God.
Jaron Ennis has issued a warning to Crawford ahead of the Canelo fight, saying Canelo is just too big and too strong. Meanwhile, well-known boxing analyst Show believes Crawford has a shot at creating a moment as iconic as one of Roy Jones Jr.'s best, that unforgettable knockout of Glenn Johnson. Show sees the potential for Crawford to deliver a dramatic finish that people will talk about for years. Crawford, who's long said Jones is his favorite fighter, has studied his style and flair. If he can pull off a similar highlight, it wouldn't just honor Jones, it could lock in Crawford's legacy as one of the all-time greats.
Want to win the fight? It has everything to do with Bud Crawford. I just want to see the moment that Bud Crawford is looking up at a giant and ready to chop that damn tree down. I've seen it before. I saw Roy Jones versus Hall. Rich Hall. He was... and then whipped his ass. I just want that moment. Bud Crawford just... and then Fundora trying to beat, and Bud just whoop, like the Matrix. Boom, 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 boom. Fire! I would just love it. Now, if him do win, of course, I want the better fighter to fight Bud.
Crawford has never been shy about the fighters who shaped him. He's always shown deep respect for Roy Jones Jr. and Floyd Mayweather Jr., calling them huge influences on his journey. In a chat with Carl Frock, Crawford revealed that Jones was his all-time favorite, not just for his skills, but for his entire personality. He admired Jones's energy, his love for fishing and basketball, and the way he carried himself inside and outside the ring. Crawford said, everything he did, from amateurs to pros, Roy Jones Jr. has always been my number one.
Styles make fights. No, it's your destiny, it's your legacy to become 3-time undisputed, and in 4 different weight classes, and your 5th weight class as well.
Yeah,
you're joining that club as well.
Definitely.
So you're joining some clubs. Before we finish, you know how much I love the history of the old fighters. Like, look, I know I've already heard it before, but for the viewers, like looking up to early in your career, like the couple of fighters that you really liked was Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather, correct?
Yeah, Roy Jones, Floyd.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get much better than them two.
Nah.
What was about? Tell me about each one. So starting with Roy, what was it that really...
His athleticism.
Yeah.
When it comes to Mayweather, Crawford gave props to both sides of Floyd's career, the aggressive pretty boy and the slick, defensive money version. Crawford admitted that the more strategic, polished Mayweather would have been extremely tough to beat, and it shows. Crawford's own style has pieces of both legends, the athleticism and explosiveness of Roy Jones Jr., mixed with the ring IQ and defense of Mayweather. That balance has made Crawford one of the most complete fighters in the game today.
His speed, his power, his punch placement, his IQ, the way that he went about boxing. He's a hooper. I like to play basketball. He fish. I like to fish. You know, just his lifestyle. He like dogs. I like dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me and him had so much in common. You know, even still to this day, I'll be like, dang, I mess with that stuff too. Floyd, Floyd is Floyd. You know, I remember running home after the gym, like Floyd about to come on. Floyd about to come on. We got to watch HBO. We got to turn to HBO. And just, everything about him, his defense, his offense. At the time, he was a shark.
Andre Ward recently stirred the pot between Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr., and it all started on his podcast. Ward asked Jones who would win between a prime Floyd and Sugar Ray Leonard. Jones said Leonard's pressure would have been too much. That didn't sit well with Mayweather. In response, Floyd dropped a silent Instagram video showing Jones's toughest knockouts, including brutal losses to Tarver and Glenn Johnson. Fans didn't know what to make of it. Was it petty? Was it funny? Either way, it turned a simple comment into a full-blown boxing legend feud.
That might be a good one. I got one better. You gotta come to ATS fight for that, my boy. What you think about Roy calling out Floyd? You gotta come to all the smoke for that.
What do you think about Roy and Floyd going back and forth? I just talked to him. Floyd was really worked up. I mean, Roy was really worked up about it. What do you think, Andre?
They fighters, man. We're going this way. They fighters.
Is that the biggest fight in boxing today? Like, if that would have really happened, you think it could happen?
Watch out, Andre can still throw hands now. Don't mess with them like that. They fighters, bro. Roy said that fighting him is never gonna die.
You gotta be really high.
Right now?
Yeah, like exhibition.
Anything could happen. We'll see.
Who wins on
Heard. I heard all about it. I saw Roy Jones call out Floyd Mayweather after Floyd Mayweather's subliminal distance. I saw it. And you guys are hitting me up repeatedly. Showbiz, who do you have if Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather were to fight? And, you know, I must say, Roy Jones is my favorite fighter ever. He's my favorite fighter ever. You guys know I was a huge fanboy and all those things. I've said it repeatedly. But if they were to fight, I'll be rooting on Floyd Mayweather, man. I can't. Listen, regardless of how many times I've criticized Floyd and his career or whatever, Tim T has always shown me love, man. Floyd Mayweather showed me love. His son, his family. Look, Tim T has always shown love, bro. They have kept it a bean. I just never really been able to connect with Roy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen him a few times. But I'm going with Floyd on this one, man.